The rain poured down in relentless sheets as Eleanor stood at the window, her fingers tracing invisible patterns on the cold glass. Outside, the streets of Manhattan glistened under the streetlights, but inside, her heart felt darker than the stormy night. She had spent the last 6 years of her life believing in a love that now felt like a beautifully wrapped lie. Anthony, the man who once whispered promises of forever, had shattered her heart into a million pieces. But love, true, unfailing love, had a way of surviving the worst storms. Eleanor had met Anthony in the most cliché yet magical way. She had been rushing through Central Park, late for an important business meeting, when she tripped on the pavement. Instead of falling, she found herself caught in the strong arms of a stranger. "Careful there," he had said, his deep voice laced with amusement. She had looked up, ready to apologize, but her words got lost in his piercing blue eyes. From that moment, their connection had been undeniable. Anthony was charming, ambitious, and dangerously handsome. Within weeks, they were inseparable. It wasn't long before he proposed, a sunset dinner on a yacht, violinists playing in the background, a diamond ring sparkling like a dream. Eleanor had never felt more certain about anything in her life. She believed in his love. She believed in forever. 2 years into their marriage, things started changing. Anthony worked late too often, his phone buzzed with cryptic messages, and his once passionate kisses turned into absent-minded pecks. At first, Eleanor convinced herself it was just stress. He was a powerful businessman, running one of the most prestigious finance firms in New York. But deep down, an unsettling feeling clawed at her heart. One night, curiosity got the better of her. As Anthony slept, she unlocked his phone with a fingerprint he never thought to change. Her blood turned to ice. There, in plain sight, were messages from another woman. Not just any woman. Camilla Hart. The same Camilla who had once been her closest friend. Eleanor couldn't breathe. The betrayal hit her like a punch to the stomach. She stared at the messages, sweet words, intimate pictures, promises that belonged to her, not Camilla. Her hands trembled as she clenched the phone. Was this what their love had come to? Lies. Deception. She confronted him the next morning. He didn't deny it. "Eleanor, I didn't mean for this to happen," he whispered, eyes filled with regret. "But things between us haven't been the same." His words cut deeper than the betrayal itself. "So instead of talking to me, you ran into her arms," she hissed, tears streaming down her face. Anthony ran a hand through his hair, looking torn. "I love you, Eleanor. But I'm lost. I don't know how to fix us." She laughed bitterly. "You fix things by trying, not by running to another woman." And with that, she packed her bags and walked out of the home they had built together. Months passed. The divorce papers lay unsigned on her desk. She should have hated him. She should have moved on. But every time she closed her eyes, memories of their love haunted her. And Anthony. He was a wreck. He ended things with Camilla almost immediately. Every day, he stared at the empty side of the bed, regretting his mistakes. He tried calling Eleanor, but she refused to answer. Until one day, fate intervened. A terrible car accident landed Anthony in the hospital. Eleanor found out through mutual friends. She didn't think twice, she ran to him. Seeing him hooked up to machines shattered her. His eyes fluttered open, weak but full of emotion. "You came," he whispered. Tears spilled from her eyes. "Of course I did. Healing took time. Trust was not rebuilt overnight. But Anthony fought for her, harder than he had ever fought for anything. He went to therapy, worked on himself, and proved to Eleanor every day that she was the only woman he ever truly loved." Eleanor, despite her pain, couldn't deny that her heart still belonged to him. Love, real love, was never perfect. It was messy, painful, and tested in the worst ways. But when it was true, when it was unfailing, it found its way back. And so, against all odds, they chose each other again. Because unfailing love never truly dies.